Deaf.
Deaf.
Deaf. Deaf.
Bye.
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 Hello, everybody, and welcome to Death by Daylight. We almost made it on time this week. Not quite, but here we are. We are talking about nightmares this week. A lot of dream stuff we've got going on. I am here with Ernie.
What up, everybody?
I am here with Juan.
Yo, yo, yo.
And I am here with Darrin.
What's up?
That's all we've got this week. Jude is going to join us later, but for right now, Jesus is occupied, so you get just us for right now. We are going to do the same thing we did last week because we felt like it worked really well, where we're just going to watch a game and drink. We're going to do the drinking game while we just watch instead of bringing up our topic right away. You definitely know that Ernie is going to be playing... right away. Sorry, there's going to be an echo because I forgot to mute my phone like an idiot. You know that Ernie's going to play Killer. Jesus Christ, sorry.
Jesus.
I know, I'm having a rough day, apparently. He is going to play as Freddy Krueger, who is called the Nightmare in the game, I guess. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Do they give him, like, since the hag has, like, a backstory and the clown has a backstory, like, the actual guys that resemble movie guys, do they give him a backstory?
Yeah. It pretty much just talks about it, like, it's just about Freddy, you know? Just how he
But
got
it talks about Freddy Krueger specifically?
Yeah. Like, his name is even Freddy, so it's a licensed, like, killer, so...
Oh, for sure.
It's not like he's just like this guy looks like Freddy now. This dude's Freddy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if you were not here last week or this is your first time, we are going to do our drinking game while Ernie plays as the killer. Every 2 kills he gets, we will take a shot. You're more than welcome to take sips on the first and the third kill. Or when he gets a hook, maybe a smaller sip or whatever the fuck you want. And get nice and toasty with us before we get into our subject matter, talking about Nightmare on Elm Street along with some other things. And if you're listening and you want to participate, make sure that you comment because we can read those comments and participate and kind of mold the conversation to things you might be interested in. Also, happy to give you shout-outs. And that leads us into our first informational segment. What is everybody drinking?
So I'm drinking White Claw and I'm shooting Snack Dacks.
Snack Dacks. Darrin, why don't you tell our audience what Snack Dacks are?
Well, snack decks are a take on the original daiquiri. But they're a snack version, if you will. So we're going 1 ounce white rum, 0.25 ounces of lime juice, and ½ ounce simple syrup. Makes for a great shot there, Josh.
Thank you, Darrin. Now back to you, Juan. Are you drinking tonight?
Hold on, wait.
Oh my god.
That was too good. And also, I'm using Plantation, so it's like a dark rum, but still, that was fucking phenomenal.
Holy shit.
Juan, what are you drinking?
I'm actually drinking, it's called the Salty Lady Michelada, thanks to our boy Ernie here. I actually stopped by to go pick it up earlier, and he's been holding this for me for about, a week?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was not disappointed. I'm actually almost about to finish it.
He's lucky it survived.
It's delicious.
Yeah, you are lucky it survived. You practice social distancing, I'm assuming?
Yes.
So we don't get a bunch of hate in the comments?
I wore a mask.
Yeah,
My mask to get there. I ran into my car, and that was it.
I did the whole Uncle Rico. I was like, go long!
He tossed it. I almost dropped it. And here we are.
All right. I am drinking Session Red. It's a lager imported from Oregon. And it's an old friend of mine. I really like it, and I hadn't had it in a long time. I am also drinking Deep Eddy's Red Grapefruit Vodka. If you're looking for a nice vodka distilled in your home state of Texas, make sure you check out Deep Eddy's Vodka. It is absolutely delicious. What else do we got going on here? So
You didn't ask Darren what he was drinking.
oh
I
yeah,
sent you last week. Towards
I
brandy.
asked him how to make the drink, not what he was drinking.
You have to do it the same way you just presented the...
Well, if you overdo it, it becomes. I mean, fuck. See, you ruined it.
Dude, Alonso's saying the bartender needs his own brief segment because that was perfect.
There you go, see?
Well, I'm
Yeah,
drinking Torres 10-year brandy straight from Spain. So, yeah, try Torres 10-year brandy. It's $20 a bottle and it tastes great.
Straight from
We'll
Spain,
definitely make
made
sure
in
to
Texas.
throw it
I'm
over.
kidding.
We'll make sure to throw it over to Darren so he can tell us how to make his cocktails. His trade secrets that he's just going to be giving away.
It's like a
speaking
cocktail
of
weatherman.
if you do know, like if you follow any of us on social media and you saw our brand new logo, that was Darren's work. So if you like it, he is a professional and you need to pay him. Please don't approach him telling him you'll give him exposure or whatever. But he was nice enough to do it for us because he's on the podcast. So
I'm like, I'm getting paid for this shit?
yeah. No, we're just giving you exposure. I'm telling you everyone else not to give you exposure.
Oh, right.
But to give you money instead. I mean, maybe talk to him, but don't bombard him. But excellent work. I really fucking like it a lot. I thought you did a great job. So check him out. Darrin Perkins. Oh,
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I almost dropped something again. So, what do we got going on here, Ernie? You're about to enter the game. Is it going to take longer to load, or we're already past that part?
We're already getting to the game.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was supposed to turn up the volume before I jumped in, but I'll do it right now.
All right. If you
Shout
guys
out
want
to
to tell
Alonso.
yeah, what's up, Alonso? How are you? I don't know if you remember when we went to see the WWE at Las Cruces. But that was a lot of fun, so I hope you're well, buddy. If you're at home and you want to tell us what you're drinking, or tell us that what we're drinking we shouldn't be drinking, please feel free to comment. And welcome to Your Excuse. We like to say that we are your excuse to get nice and drunk on Friday. Maybe you're by yourself on a Friday night, as we all are, and so you get to get drunk with us. Freddy Krueger, one of the coolest looking characters ever, probably, right?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger and Freddy just joined us. Thanks for coming back. Freddy.
Nice.
Yes, Freddy, welcome back. We are playing your namesake this week on the drinking game. Hopefully, how do you feel, Ernie? How do you feel? Where's your confidence level at?
Honestly, I've been getting matched with nothing but fucking toxic people all day since I've been playing as Freddy. So not too good.
Sounds a lot like your dating life, am I right?
Fuck you.
Getting matched up with toxic people, that's okay. I do too. I have problems.
That was terrible. What did I just do there?
As you can hear, I just broke the seal on my Deep Eddy's vodka. I'm very excited about it. Ooh, it even gave a nice pouring sound there. Did you get a lot of chance to practice with, like, is this something that you main, or is this something that you're doing strictly for our purposes?
I mean, I like to say that I'm trying to main Freddy, but in all honesty, I haven't gotten that good with him, but where the fuck are they? That was supposed to show me where they all were. But, oh, there's one. Gotcha, bitch.
Juan, are you a proponent of playing the Nightmare?
I actually haven't had a chance to play as Freddy.
What do you? So we already know you main the Hag. What else do you? What other killers do you like to use?
You know what? I mainly stick to the Hag, but I also like to play as Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
He is interesting, and we'll get to that one. But yeah, it's normally the Hag or Michael Myers. I occasionally use the Doctor, but that's more because the game it has these challenges, and a lot of times for some reason it tends to be with the Doctor. Well, when I get on it, I guess at least.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I'll use them, just to get points. But yeah, I mainly stick to the Hag about 95% of the time.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, and that's if I decide to play Killer.
Yeah, definitely hear from a lot of people that they only play Survivor, or that they only play Killer for like blood point events, I guess. But I mean, to me, that would be like the funnest part. Or I mean, again, I don't really know, but it would seem as though that's the funnest part, like being good at a killer and then fucking taking everybody out.
So what's so special about Freddy? What's he do differently than everybody else?
So he can teleport.
Ooh.
That's but the Hag can do that. I saw that shit last time.
Not as, he can teleport to the generators.
The generator.
Yeah, the generator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so basically, if you're a survivor, you'll be working on a generator, and all of a sudden, blood starts coming out of the generator, and then Freddy just pops out of there.
That's fucking sweet.
Yeah, and then he actually puts everybody, all the survivors, in a dream state. Like right now, that's the dream state. That's what you see how like it looks gray, black and gray, kind of. On the
the whole game always looks black and gray, but.
Yeah. Well, when you're a survivor, it's very, very noticeable when you're awake or when you're asleep, and you can actually wake each other up.
Are they not gonna save these two? Am I gonna get? Ooh, there we go.
What makes it fun is that when you're a survivor and you're in the dream state, I don't know if you've noticed whenever they're getting chased by a killer, you hear like a heartbeat. Typically with Freddy, when you're getting chased and you're asleep, you don't hear the heartbeat. You hear the little song, the 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. And that's how you know he's close by.
That's fucking cool.
Oh, good.
I was definitely and bring that up later as part of our conversation for sure. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole series is that song. It's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, it is.
So no kills yet, but we're getting there.
We've gotten some hooks though, right? I can take a sip of my beer.
I mean, you could take a sip of beer without the hooks, bro. You don't have to wait for that.
Yeah, I should have done that from the beginning.
Oh, fuck that up.
Get that one. Oh, I saw that.
Who do you hate getting killed most by, Juan?
Freddy, actually, and I think Leatherface would be my next one.
Damn.
Leatherface can one-shot you.
Here's a kill.
He does this annoying move where he just, like in the movie where he has a chainsaw and he's just like spinning in like a circle, just like all like going all berserk. He does that. That's like one of his special moves. Oh.
Damn, that's fucking gnarly. What happened there? Oh, he just
Killed that bitch.
smirked that dude.
But that's the same thing as like the clown kill. Like that's the signature kill.
Yeah, it was a Mori.
I didn't
That's
even realize.
fucking sweet.
Another fun fact that I noticed after playing against Freddy for a while is that the Freddy from this game, it's actually based on the Freddy from the remake.
not from the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, look, right now you'll see his face and you'll notice. Watch. You'll kind of get a glimpse.
Oh, yeah.
But he does...
What's the difference between the two Freddys?
Well, the original is played by Robert Englund. He's the one that played him throughout the whole entire series. In the remake, it's another actor. What was his name? James Earl Haley or something like that. Let me double check that real quick.
Wouldn't it be a lot better if it was James Earl Jones?
It's just Darth Vader voice, like looking around, killing everybody.
Holy crap, that was good.
Let's see. I may have that wrong.
So do you have 2 kills or you have one? And...
Jackie Earl Haley. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Jackie Earl Haley.
He was in Watchmen.
So you guys have taken a shot already?
We have not taken a shot.
Shutter Island.
Watchmen, was he Rorschach?
Oh, no, who was he?
Yeah, he was. If he came out in Shutter Island, he was Rorschach for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because he's Freddy as fuck.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a shot because Ernie got 2 kills, so that's a celebration on our part. And if you want to take a shot with us at home, please go ahead and make sure you tell us what you're drinking, so that we can either make recommendations or commend you on your excellent taste. I am, again, drinking vodka. Oh, we went over this already. So, cheers, boys, to nightmares, to champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
Calm down, Scarborough. Cheers.
So the last person took the hatch. I got 3 kills.
3 kills. Congratulations, buddy. All right. Well, that was really good. I like Freddy. I like watching him. He's really cool.
Yeah, he's fun to play with. As long as you don't get paired with toxic ass people. That group sucked really bad, honestly.
Did they escape or did they DC?
3 kills, 1 hatch out.
Oh.
So if you are noticeably better than the 3 survivors you're in there with, do you automatically think look, I'm just gonna survive so I can take the hatch because these guys fucking suck?
Yeah.
Basically.
Honestly, I should have, instead of actually killing that last person, I should have actually looked for the other person. But I thought I could find the hatch and get her before. But it is what it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
normally when you're down to the last 2 people and there's still 5 or 4 generators, it becomes a matter of who dies first and who can get the hatch.
So
that's actually really cool because it kind of turns you on each other real quick.
Oh yeah. Because once you get hooked, you can see the other person is probably not even trying to save you. Sometimes there's some that'll actually save you, but then a lot of the times you see it where they're just staying in place because more than likely they found the hatch and they're just waiting for you to die.
Right. Very, very dark stuff.
I have a question for you guys. I'm going to be flipping back between Survivor and Freddy throughout the whole thing. Do you guys want me to play as the bunny or this ghetto-looking chick?
The ghetto-looking chick.
I think you know what my answer is, because you know my type. So...
Wait, put the ghetto-looking chick back on?
So that's the ghetto one.
And the other one.
The other
yeah, that's right up my alley, boy.
All these chicks are up your alley. Wait, she looks pretty hood too.
There's a thick one too.
She's like Lower Valley, like, "What's up, girl?"
Yes, hoops. Give me them fucking hoop earrings, boy.
If you're into the thick ones, we got a thick one too.
Where's Keebler at?
Show him mine, Ernie.
Caesar Pettis says I should play as a thick girl. But I don't have any perks on her, sadly.
So, do all the survivors have, different attributes and shit?
Honestly, they have their own unique perks, but everybody can eventually learn every perk. But there's no, difference in speed and stuff.
They eventually become skins, basically.
Oh, okay.
Keeb is here. He says, "What up?"
Dude, what the fuck? I was not getting. Oh, Keebler, dude, you're totally here. I was. I was not getting any of the comments, so I apologize to everyone. But I see them now. Freddie, you old so and so. What dating life? He says to you, Ernie. Thank you, Caesar. I think
Caesar's here.
Oh, Caesar is here.
Yeah.
And Keebs, baby Keebs is here. And we are always to have Old Thicky on board our ship. So we're going to get into the Nightmare and into Nightmare on Elm Street, which is what we're going to open with. We're going to get into our own stories about sleep paralysis and about nightmares, and it's going to be a great episode. Let's get to it. So Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm going to talk about the original a little bit. Obviously goes into the slasher films at the time, was revolutionary in its own way, because it was done by Wes Craven, and just some beautiful cinematography and different scenes. For me, what comes to mind immediately is Johnny Depp getting sucked into the bed and the tornado of blood coming out and onto the ceiling. That kind of thing that we just hadn't really seen from even like Friday the 13th. We hadn't quite seen that yet. So just a really terrifying movie. Obviously, he looks fucked up. He's a burn victim, and has, you know, knives on his fingers and a top hat and all that's awesome. But definitely for me, one of the creepiest parts is the song, the 1-2 Freddy's Coming for You nursery rhyme that they do. Like we brought up about the game. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I heard that song way before I watched that movie, and I was already scared of Freddy Krueger before I even got to watch Nightmare on Elm Street.
Where'd you hear the song at?
Kids at school would sing it, you know, to freak each other out, that kind of thing. We used to have in one of the gyms in our elementary school, there was a stage. And there was this door that had a broken lock, and so it was really fucking dark back there. And now thinking back on it, some really terrible shit could happen back there. Luckily for us, we were all nerds, and so we would just go in there and like try to scare each other, and sing that song and really freak people out. So I was scared of Freddy Krueger even before I saw Nightmare on Elm Street. Any of you have a similar experience? Were you scared the first time you watched that movie? Were you scared of Freddy Krueger?
I was terrified when I saw this one scene. Not from the first one, but it was just an overall scene from... there's in one of them, he actually gets somebody... He basically uses their veins as, like, to make them, like, strings for, like, a puppet.
Yeah, I remember that scene. That's gnarly.
That scene, like, it made me, like... It just fucked me up for a while when I was little.
So it made you cry.
It didn't make me cry. It just made me like.
He's like, oh, I don't fucking cry, right?
Yeah. So that scene messed me up.
Darrin, how can we use Juan's tears in a cocktail? You want to give us a cocktail recipe with Juan's tears?
That's saline, right? You can actually, in most daiquiris, you'd put some saline solution. So if you want to go ahead and put some tears in your daiquis, that adds
in your snack daiquis. Wow.
Yeah, and a little bit of salt. You know, kind of like, you know how margarita has salted rim. So there you go. You kind of like just do that. Cry in your snack before you drink one.
Man, that's a really great tip, and also right down the middle for how some of the nights at the bar go. You know what I mean? You just you go outside and you just do a little crying into your snack deck, and you've got an extra flavor level there.
That is fucking disgusting.
It's just salt water, bro.
Yeah, if you're not like coming into the drink or like, you know what I mean? It's just.
Fun fact, though, cum does add some viscosity. No, I'm just kidding.
So like,
we're gonna teach you about a semen cocktail.
So you go up to a girl, you ask her, "Were you scared of Freddy Krueger as a child?" She's gonna most likely say yes, and then you can ask her, "Did you cry when you would, you know, watch it. She's gonna say yes. So you get her to start crying somehow. I don't know, maybe like
Jesus.
break
That's a
her
big
heart
leap.
and be like,
Jesus Christ.
"Oh, can you give me some of those tears in my snack deck? I need a little bit of an extra flavor profile, you know?"
I feel like the getting to fall in love with you part, she's already had her heart broken. We're all adults. You know what I mean?
You really know your cocktails.
You get her to, you just bring up her ex. Like, if you're invested and you're really like, you know, I want this girl's tears, but I want them to taste genuine and loving, then yeah, go ahead. But you just bring up her ex really quickly, get her to start crying. Maybe you feed her a couple of snack jacks before that. You know, you're both in an emotional place, and then you collect her tears for your delicious snack daiquiri with Juan's tears, or the tears of the person of your choice.
And that's the story of how Josh lost his virginity. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Someone asked me to cry into their cocktail, and then bad things happened behind the stage in the old gym.
And then he went home to watch Freddy Krueger.
Terminology.
So speaking of nightmares, I mean, one of the things that makes Freddy, and I actually think you said something profound, despite the fact that we were acting like assholes. But you said, you know, you asked someone our age if they were scared of Freddy Krueger as a child, and the fact is that I imagine anyone who knew who he was as a child, which is a lot of people, was scared of that guy, because going to sleep is already one of the scariest parts of being a kid. It's the only time that you're really alone. It's the only time that you're, you know, that you're in the dark by yourself and that kind of thing. So they probably are scared. And what makes him so scary is that dream element. He's going to kill you in your dreams. You're not going to be able to run. You're not going to be able to hide. 1, 2, Freddy is coming for you.
Hey,
how do
yo,
you feel that?
real quick, side note, Caesar was not bullshitting. There is a book called Technology, and it's for bartenders who want to put shit in their drinks, yo. Like, you will enjoy the delicate flavors of semen. Like, it's a real thing.
Yes.
like, holy shit, son.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
that's
continue.
cool.
Sorry.
I really thought that all of that, like, antioxidants talk was more like a line that you were supposed to feed girls, but or gentlemen, if you're into that sort of thing. But I didn't know. I you know what, Caesar? Thank you for the reference. Darren apparently has already looked it up, but I will not be looking up semenology, mostly because I thoroughly enjoy your cocktails, and I don't want to think that you have that knowledge. I'm going to taste something delicious in a tiny bathtub one day, and you're going to tell me that you got it out of semenology.
Well, you don't want that personal touch, son?
You know what? I think that personal touch is just a hair much for me personally.
Oh, hair, that's a whole different subject, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, disgusting.
So does that mean you can make me a Freddy Krueger cocktail with your semen?
Yeah. Yo, Freddy, come dumpster. I don't know.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh no. That's the first time that word has ever been uttered on this podcast, so
It's 2 words.
well, that phrase, how's that?
Okay.
So tell us at home if you're drinking semen. Make sure you leave a comment and tell us if that's what you're drinking, or if you've ever thought about drinking it, maybe. Or are you gonna say, Ernie? Sorry.
You've ever thought about drinking semen? Oh my gosh. This one's a doozy. But anyways, I mean, back to what we were talking about on Freddy, beside the whole semenology thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, a lot of people talk down on Freddy because they like to say he's a pedo that used to, you know, rape children.
I mean, that's a pretty good reason to talk down on people.
But I don't think he raped anybody. He just killed him, right?
No,
Yeah,
he
he never
was
did.
originally he was gonna be a child molester, but Wes Craven actually changed that because he didn't want to exploit that, basically. So he just changed him to a straight up child murderer, which is, I mean, it's also, he's a piece of shit for it, you know. But yeah, he actually wasn't a pedophile.
I mean,
Thank you, Juan.
they just thought he was, right, and that's why they killed him and like burned him down and stuff. He just like
Yeah.
really cared about the kids, but they thought he was touching them.
No, he was actually murdering them.
Oh,
Like he wasn't raping them, but he was actually murdering. He was an asshole.
oh, okay. So he would lure him into the freaking the basement.
Yeah,
of-
basically.
Okay, makes sense.
He was proud of it too. So until he got caught, then of course he gets chased down, and that's when they kill him.
Freddy, why you guys are crazy? Goddamn. Sorry, Freddy.
This is
don't drink
the
semen.
quality entertainment we're trying to bring you every week.
Don't drink
It's the
semen
internet,
unless you're
man.
into
Don't
that
blame
thing.
us, shit.
Yeah, it's the fault of the age of information that we're like this. Some people use it to go to school and cure diseases, and we use it to look up drinks that incorporate semen. We will have Jude here in a bit. We are getting ready. We're loading him up right now to get in here, and Juan is going to show you or talk to you rather about what Nightmare on Elm Street sequels were all about. What was your favorite sequel for that, Juan?
Ooh. You know what? My favorite sequel was actually A New Nightmare, which is actually...
It's a good one.
It's actually... Okay, so basically, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm sorry. That one was by Wes Craven, and then the studio made a bunch of other Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Uh-huh.
And he actually had no part in that. And he came back to do A New Nightmare, where that one, what's cool is that it's basically about the main girl, Heather, who's from the original. Basically, the cast is actually being haunted by Freddy in the real world. But in this one, Freddy's no longer like doing one-liners and being silly and being like funny. He's actually being like scary again. And they change him a little bit. It's still Robert Englund, but they change his appearance. He actually has more of a demonic look. He wears a trench coat and whatnot. That's my favorite, along with Freddy vs. Jason, of course.
Yeah,
Freddy says he likes Dream Warriors. What's that one?
Dream Warriors, I believe that's the third one or fourth one. That's because there's so many of them. I know that one. He basically goes he's like in a mental asylum, I believe. Like all these kids who are taking the medication to not fall asleep and all that, they kind of become a group called the Dream Warriors or whatever.
And are the Dream Warriors being attacked by Freddy, or are they fighting against Freddy?
I really didn't like that movie. I'm trying to remember. So basically, that one is the main girl from the original, basically teaching these kids, hey, this is how you can face Freddy Krueger and all that stuff.
Oh,
she's like
for sure.
training them, like, because you know how like if you are no longer afraid of him and all that stuff, like he feeds off your fear. If you don't believe in him, you basically loses his power.
Yeah, so Freddy says it's the one with the television kill.
Yes,
and I definitely remember that scene because it's
welcome
they
to
played
prime
a lot.
time, bitch.
Yeah. Very good one. So Jude is here. Jude, how's your night going, buddy?
It's going pretty good. Just got off work.
Just got off work. Are you drinking? Are you getting ready to drink?
Shit, I'm ready to drink, bro.
Have you ever heard of drinks that contain semen?
Oh, God, I was waiting for you.
Energy drinks?
No, cocktails. Ironically, cocktails full of semen.
So there's a
Yeah,
whole book of cocktails called, what was it, Semenology?
Semenology, yes.
That's ironic.
is that inside a White Claw?
No, and it's a real
Oh
fucking
man,
thing.
he's taking a shot
Oh,
at me.
that's crazy. Like, is the bro? I'm drinking White Claw right now. Is
Oh.
is the semen inside like? Is it from a? Can I say it's not from an animal, right?
I don't think.
oh,
Well, I didn't
what?
open the book, so I don't know the source.
I didn't get that far into the read, nor was it a question that I asked. But apparently, it adds some kind of flavor, and it can be added. It was a whole thing that we got into before we started talking about Freddy Krueger. What is your scariest Freddy Krueger moment, Jude? Put you
My
on the spot
scariest-
early.
My scariest moment, in general, on how he's affected me, I guess I could say. Because to be honest with you, I would say he's one of the scariest out of all the. I would say he's the one that I would fear most for the fact that there's no getting away from that guy. You have to sleep eventually. So that's the. I hope I answered that question. Right.
Well, that's debatable. I mean, what about meth heads?
I mean, yeah, you can't sleep next to those either, but I would say Krueger will fucking haunt your ass in your sleep, man, and you have to
And he
get
fucks
sleep.
with you.
Yep. There's no other way. Like, you have to sleep eventually.
Yeah, that's
You know-
that's definitely part of it for me. That like I don't even like to go. I like to get 8 hours of sleep, and then it's hard for me to go that next 16 hours without a little tiny nap. So I do it all the time because I work or whatever. But I really would love a nap right around 3 p.m.
So how do you go about killing Freddy Krueger then?
Similar to Pennywise, actually. You basically you basically have to bring him into the real world. You have to, like, if you hold on to him and you somehow wake up, somebody wakes you up, he becomes real. He loses his power. He just becomes, mortal into the real world. And then
Which
can
is
fuck
why
him
he
up.
has those knives on his hands, right?
What do you mean? Like, why he has
Like
them?
because he doesn't have his powers to manipulate your mind and all that. But if he becomes real, he can still just stab your ass.
Well, yeah, but that was just more of a weapon of choice of his. They just decided it was a more creative thing, a writing thing that they did. Hey, let's just give him that kind of weapon because it's different,
I didn't know you were in the writer's room, or I would have let you lead with that.
There's a whole thing, a whole documentary. It's something about, I think it's called The House Freddy Built or something like that, because he saved New Line Cinema. And basically they explain like his creation and all that crazy stuff.
Say cinema for me again.
Cinema. I said cinema, right? My bad. Semena.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you've got semen on the brain.
Semena.
New line Semena.
New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema.
Let's talk about Freddy vs. Jason real quick because that movie's badass.
I fucking love that movie.
So we have not done a Jason episode. It's obviously coming at some point because he's one of my personal favorites, probably top 5 for everybody else. I don't know how you guys feel, but so when they're fighting, it's essentially a Batman versus Superman thing where it's these two huge horror icons who have these long series. People keep going back to the movies. They say sequels don't work. You haven't talked to slasher fans. Like, slasher horror has sequels and sequels and sequels, and people keep coming back. What is your favorite? Well, let's go to Darrin because I feel like I need to. Did you see Freddy vs. Jason, Darrin?
I did.
What is would you compare it as like a fight movie? What's your favorite part of the battle or your favorite part of the movie?
I don't necessarily, because like the time, how do I put this? The last time I saw it, like the only thing I remember from it is that like, spoiler alert, whatever, is that like Jason has Freddy's head in his hand, and you think that Jason has won, but then you see like Freddy's head and he's just like smiling and shit. He's just like, "What's up,
He
bitch?
winks.
I'm dead." Yeah, So I was kind of like, okay, so nobody won. All right. But then again, I mean, it's kind of like they're two unstoppable forces. I mean, you have like this dude who like he gets in your head and kills you, and this other guy who you don't really know how to kill because no one's ever like people have been trying to kill him forever. It's kind of like, all right, well, I don't know. It was whatever. It was fun. It was fun movie.
All
It was
right.
meant to have a sequel. That's why.
Yep. Yeah,
They
it
actually
was.
wanted them to end up in hell, with Pinhead basically like being like overseeing their fight and everything in hell, like an ongoing fight. And then there was another idea where it was gonna be Ash from Evil Dead versus Freddy and Jason
Pinhead from
Hellraiser.
From Hellraiser, yeah.
Yes.
I will
Like
say
they-
out of the two though, like Jason is like probably like way like my more favorite than Freddy for sure. Like I love
I agree.
Jason. Shit.
I have him on my hand, so hell yeah, I agree.
I definitely agree, but let's get into that on the Jason episode. Because that's gonna be. I really feel like it should be an event at some like maybe Halloween or the summer solstice. We'll do some kind of fucking episode where we make Jason real special because I fucking love
Or
that
a
guy.
Friday the 13th.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking duh. I don't know when the next one is, but it's probably sooner than Halloween, maybe. Yeah, so we're talking about sleep. We can keep going back to Freddy all we want, and I really mean that. Like, if you want to talk about Freddy again, please bring him up. But going into other sleep terrors, do any of you happen to suffer from sleep paralysis?
I've had it a few times. Yeah.
I've had it. I've had it.
You've had it, Jude, as well?
No, I have not. No, I've been lucky.
Okay. Has anyone seen a documentary called The Nightmare?
I have not. Is it about Freddy Krueger? Just kidding.
No, that's the house that Freddy built. No, so The Nightmare, I'll talk about it briefly. It is just a documentary. It's available on Amazon Prime if you have it. Definitely go watch it. Caesar says November is the next Friday the 13th. Thank you, Caesar, for looking that up for us. We could have certainly done that, and I guess we didn't need to, so thank you for that. But so The Nightmare is this documentary that talks about sleep paralysis and the lore behind sleep paralysis, because it turns out that a lot of people that suffer from it are visited by the same cast of characters as a lot of other people that suffer from it. So if you're not familiar with sleep paralysis, what happens is that you fall asleep and then you wake up, essentially, like whether your eyes are actually open or not, you can see the room that you're in. And it has been known to be both ways. Some people see it while they're awake. Some people see with their eyes open. Some people have their eyes closed but can still see their surroundings. And you can't move. I mean, that's the worst part of it, is that you can't wake yourself up and you can't move and you're completely trapped in your body. But a lot of people, like a staggering amount of people, I wish I had the exact percentage, are visited in those moments by about 10 different characters. And it usually, if you're visited by one of those characters, it sticks to the same one. It's not like you see all 10 of them, but those 10 characters keep popping up over and over and over again for people that have sleep paralysis. So one of those examples is a guy called the Shadow Man, and the Shadow Man is just exactly what he sounds. It's like a 3D shadow, and he stands in your door, and other people report that he climbs on their bed, and that he puts his weight on top of them, and that he, touches your body and all sorts of shit. There's a guy called the Angry Man that is almost exactly like the Shadow Man, except that he yells in your ear until you wake up, which, again, you can't do. There are alien twins, there's an old lady, there's a bunch of different people, or a bunch of different characters that visit these people, and this documentary goes over, probably, I would say 12 to 15, talks to 12 to 15 different people who experience these phenomena, and are talking about it. But the documentary is terrifying. Like, it's scary enough without all the stuff they do, but they actually make, like, the, they make different, like while they're telling the story, they make like a reenactment of it, and you get like if it's the angry man, like you're in the room and they show him coming at you and it's fucking terrifying. Keebs is saying, I saw the same old man for years. You can never tell if Keebs is being sarcastic or not. He may be making some kind of joke. But
do you really think
yeah,
you joke about that? I mean, how can you take that out of context?
I don't know.
He's been putting semen in my drinks for years.
Yeah, that he got Freddy Kruegered somehow. He got visited in the middle of the night while he was sleeping, and it was bad.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So this shit. So I do suffer from sleep paralysis, which is why I'm probably more interested in it than other people. But the only character that I ever get visited by is the Shadow Man. I have seen the Shadow Man. I've experienced the Shadow Man. Luckily, he does not scream at me, or I don't think I'd ever go to sleep again. And the other one that's really interesting for me is the aliens. I couldn't handle the fucking aliens, man. I'm so fucking scared of aliens that if I saw aliens visit me while I was going through sleep paralysis, I would think that they're actually fucking coming after me and shit. So definitely check out that documentary again. It was on Netflix for a long time, but now it's on Amazon Prime if you have that. What are your guys' worst experiences with nightmares? Since you don't necessarily suffer from sleep paralysis, what are some nightmares that you guys can remember having that really fucked you up? And how old were you?
I had a... Oh, go ahead.
I had one the other day about my ex-girlfriend, and it was terrible. Just kidding.
She was being toxic, and you got matched up with her again.
I swiped right, and
But God, you missed her.
God, I missed her.
I'm just being a smart-ass. Go for it, one.
No, mine was actually recent. Well, not so recent, but it was like about a year and a half ago or something like that. I was in bed, and then I remember I get up to go... I went to go get a glass of water in the middle of the night. And outside of our bedroom, when you open the door, there's a hallway. Of course, all the lights are off. So I walk out of our bedroom, and the first thing I see is this little girl just standing in the middle of the hallway. And she's just staring at me with her neck, like, bent sideways, and I just remember she had no eyes. Like, it was just like if they were missing, like, just dark, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And her mouth is just like open, like kind of like like Ghostface. She was a little girl.
Oh.
Like long dark.
You retract that statement.
Really
Yeah, that
pale.
was very Freddy. That was very
Krueger's a
Freddy
pedophile.
Krueger-ish of me. Yeah, exactly.
He's a pedophile.
Really she was very pale looking, and I was trying to scream, and I'm trying and I just can't. And I wake up to my wife. Basically, she's, hey, you okay? Are you okay? Wake up. What's wrong? Like, she's freaking out, and I hear myself actually going like I got a freaking dick in my mouth. And I finally wake up, and she's just like, what's wrong? I'm like, holy shit, I just had the worst fucking dream. I thought it was real because it happened at that exact moment, at that exact time. And it just fucked me up. It made me start looking into black-eyed children and all that, which we'll get into later. But
yeah,
the fucked up
Shit's
thing about it
fucking
is
scary.
that, yeah, fucked up thing about it is that once I'm okay, she's like, sir, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. Okay, cool. So you're straight, right? I'm like, yeah. Can you give me a glass of water? I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, I didn't want to go into the hallway after that. And I did, but I like went, turn all the fucking lights on as I'm running out.
That tiny bitch is in there. I don't want to go in there.
Yeah, so that fucked me up for a while. I didn't want to have all the lights off in that hallway for a while.
So you said something about black guys' children. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, the black-eyed children. I really wish Keith was listening so that every time he heard black-eyed, he would think we were going to say peas, and then he would immediately turn it off. Keith is our friend, and he is haunted by the black-eyed peas. Every time he hears the black-eyed peas, something terrible happens to him. It's a very, very real phenomena that we are investigating. As paranormal investigators, we are fucking on the case. Anybody else have a nightmare story?
Well, I don't know if mine is a nightmare or if it's like sleep paralysis. It feels like a little bit of both. I don't know. But like, I don't know if it's like the drinking either or the caffeine that sometimes triggers it. But sometimes I'll be in bed and I'll think I'm up, and then I'll start like suffocating or freaking out, and then I think I'm yelling for like Jennifer to wake me up or something, and I just like it'll happen like over and over. It'll repeat itself. Like it'll stop and then it'll happen again, and I'll keep freaking out, and then eventually I'll finally wake up. But then Jennifer's sound asleep, and I'm sweating, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, was I not doing that, or was I really doing that? Like, I don't know if I was actually doing that. You know what I mean? And then I don't know. Like, I'm guessing that's like sleep paralysis.
That's 100% has elements of sleep paralysis. Particularly the like waking up and not knowing you're awake or feeling like, you know, it's like things are normal until they suddenly go very, very wrong. Like that's classic sleep paralysis. What a fucking cut up, that guy. And as far as whether it's the alcohol or the caffeine, it's probably both.
Very true.
Keebs says that's sleep apnea. Serious condition. Get it checked.
Oh shit!
Again, we can't tell if he's kidding.
I have it too, by the way. Sleep apnea.
So Alonzo says he has a lot of sleep paralysis and night terrors.
Yeah, that guy's fucked up, man. Really? Yeah, he's had some crazy shit.
He's such a good guy, though. He doesn't deserve that.
Like, he's like told me stories where like he's like yelling in his like sleep to wake up and shit. And I was like,
yeah, he literally just commented and said straight up, "I scream in my sleep."
Yeah, and I'm not looking at the comments, so he's not bullshitting, guys.
Well, to be fair, I didn't think Keebler was bullshitting about sleep apnea. Like, I know it's a bad condition, but I don't know if like sleep paralysis and like feeling like you can't breathe inside the sleep paralysis is a direct correlation to sleep apnea. But
yeah, it's a connection. Just because of the fact that you don't hit that level of sleep, I think it's REM sleep. Yeah, when you have sleep apnea, you don't hit that. So it's the same with sleep paralysis. You're basically stuck in that state between being awake and being asleep. So the hallucinations basically will happen because of that.
Do you think that the song Hotel California is about that very thing? No Eagles fans here?
Never thought about that.
Not Philadelphia Eagles, Ernie. Well, so I've always thought when I listen to that song that it's about either the place between life and death, like purgatory or whatever, if you believe in that kind of thing, but also like the place between, for me, more realistically, the place between consciousness and unconsciousness, where you're kind of stuck, you know, because you can check out, but you can't ever leave, and the pink champagne and ice and all the other weird imagery, the hot girl in the car.
The one smell of colitas.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not smelling ass when you're...
You ain't dreaming.
Yeah, exactly, Jude. Thank you. Started it and finished it for me. That's going to be the slogan for this podcast. If you ain't smelling ass, then you ain't dreaming. Yeah.
What was that song about? I thought it was about like just literally about California living.
Like you think they wrote it just about California? They're like, look, you can leave California, but you can't actually leave California.
I don't know what.
Don Henley's dead, so someone else would have to ask him. Maybe we can have a seance on one of the episodes and ask Don Henley what he meant by when he was writing that song. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say they explained it. I just can't remember. I know I looked into this, but I'm gonna find out while you guys keep talking because I want to get back to this.
Yeah, before Caesar has to look up another thing for us, you should go ahead and look at that. So, as far as nightmares are concerned, too, what about like reoccurring dreams? Like a dream that you've been having, either have over and over again, or have had periodically throughout your life that you can maybe recall?
I've had one of those, and it actually it entailed Michael Myers, to be honest.
Oh.
And I was never afraid of that dude, and I never even watched enough movies at the time, like all the films, the Halloween films, to even be like to have those nightmares. But they would they would pick up where they last left off, and it was very weird. And me, I normally have vivid dreams. Like every time I sleep, I can recall my dreams like they're memories. Weird. And I can feel like I have my senses in my sleep. So in those dreams, I was always running from this guy. Like he was always like trying to, go to my house. I would see him out in the street, but he eventually killed me. And when he killed me, I saw myself in the third person. It was fucking weird. It was a really weird ass feeling because I felt like I felt them I felt them stab me, and I died. And then I just see myself like dying. And it was just a fucking trip. And ever since those dreams, because they literally would pick up right where they left off, and I had met this one person that was following me along in the dream, and I've never met that person in my life. So I don't understand.
Let me ask you a serious question. When you die in a dream, do you wake up? Because that's what happens to me.
Normally I would wake up. In that particular moment when I died, I didn't, and that's what tripped me out. It was just fucking weird. And I remember I died at a house. It was like a how can I say? It was like, because I had to run into somebody's house to get away from them. But it was like one of those dreams where you turn a corner and they're already there, and you can't like fight. Like for some reason you're just like weak. So this guy just fucking, he killed my ass.
Juan, Caesar beat you to it. It's basically a song about the dark underbelly of American dream and about excess in America, which is something we knew a lot about. I think that's a direct quote from Don Henley, who wrote... I think Don Henley wrote that song. It could have been someone else in the band, but rarely were the best songs ever written by anyone other than Don Henley.
I love that song, man. I actually, like I said it before, I want to get buried to that song, just because I love it. It's my favorite song of all time.
It's your favorite song of all time?
So I should have known this shit. Yeah, it is. Hotel California.
We've got a fucking exclusive here on Death by Daylight. Where did you first hear that song? Like, how did you become... So for me personally, the Eagles are my mom's favorite band, and so if I wouldn't have heard that song, fucking... get more, but I really honestly can't even listen to it because I heard so many times as a child.
It's crazy because I love the Eagles, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm a huge fan. Oh God, I'm not in any way of the Eagles, Ernie. Or hint, never mind. But anyway,
no football talk here, boys.
But anyway, no, I just love the song. When I was a kid, I used to hang out. Me and my cousin would hang out, and then I remember I would go spend the night at his house. We're playing video games, and at the end of the night, we just put music on. And I remember he fell asleep, and he accidentally left Hotel California on replay. And I remember not wanting to mess with his radio. So I was just chilling. I heard that song like over and over and over and over. It didn't get old, like not once. And like we literally woke up and the song was still playing. And I was like, man, I fucking love this song. Next thing you know, like I was singing it. But I remember also as a kid, like, because my dad likes a lot of like older music and stuff. Obviously he's older, but I always, as a kid, since I was like 3, 4, like I remember really liking that song. So yeah, like it's just, there's no real like because of a specific situation or anything. Like I just really love that fucking song.
No, it's a good song. It's a damn good song. You usually don't hear people say it's their favorite song. But I think a lot of people had the experience that I did where their parents probably overplayed it or the fucking overplayed it. There's a lot of songs that KLAQ personally has ruined for me.
Oh, yeah.
But only because they were the only radio station I really fucked with until I started going to school dances and fucking with Power 102. Because girls do not dance to Metallica.
Or Godsmack.
Or Godsmack. Voodoo. Yeah, they're not. There's no twerking to Godsmack going on, so I wanted to get nice and close on the dance floor. Let them know I was there, and I was listening to Yeah by Usher and Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. And Ludacris, of course, on that track.
It's like my kid. He's like that. Have you ever seen The Rain?
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah, because my dad's a huge fan, and so is my mom, and they showed him that song, and that's like his favorite song right now. I don't know if that'll stick to when he's older.
Doesn't that make you proud, though, as a parent, that like he has like good taste in music, and his favorite song isn't some fucking What the Fox Say or?
Oh yeah, no, he loves a lot of that older shit. Like he likes Led Zeppelin stuff. He likes a lot of '80s. Like he actually likes a lot of what do they call them, hair metal bands or whatever.
Dude, that would make me go. I would go back right back to not proud anymore.
He likes a lot of but he likes a lot of cool shit, like classical and whatnot. Like he's something else. I had videos of him singing songs like that. Him singing Suicide Silence songs.
Oh.
I think I have like a video of him doing karaoke to, like, I want to say Def Leppard or Poison, or I don't know. I'll show you guys later.
Caesar is telling us to look up the Mastodon's The Motherlode best metal twerking video ever. So apparently I had it all wrong. I was supposed to be trying to twerk or trying to get girls to twerk to Mastodon, and I immediately, like a sheep, was converted into Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. So when we're talking about, first of all, Ernie, do we any shots or drinks or what's going on here, buddy?
Possibly shot.
You didn't survive the last round, I'm guessing.
Oh, I did survive the last round, actually.
Dude, that's a shot. That's the only shot in that whole drinking game.
My bad. You guys were such deep in conversation, I didn't want to disturb y'all.
Yeah,
but,
thank you for that. But also, I'd like to have a drink. I want to ask Caesar specifically to tell us what he's drinking, if he's drinking, because it has to be good, right?
I don't know, man.
Oh, Darrin, please give it to us.
No, I mean, bartenders tend to be lazy when they're, like, not fucking working and drink shit straight, bro.
Oh, yeah, it's because you're bringing your work home. You're like, fuck these cocktails. I want a Miller Lite.
Well, later, just straight liquor, bro.
So, yeah, we're going to take a shot. Can anyone think of a shot or a shot? Can anyone think of what we should toast to? Maybe something clever so that... oh, you know what? I actually have one if no one can think of one.
Then go.
See? He's being sober right now. I told you, bartenders are boring when we're not working, bro.
Toasting to the death of pedophiles?
To the death of pedophiles.
That's
I've
always
got
a good
another
one.
one for you. If you're not smelling ass, you're not really dreaming. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Ah, delicious. If anybody knows anyone at the Deep Eddies headquarters, please let them know that we exist and that I'm going to be standing them on a lot of episodes, because this shit just reminds me of being on Lake Louisville on a boat, and I like that a lot. So Caesar's sober, which is both uplifting and disappointing, as most sobriety is. Very proud of you, Caesar. Congratulations on being able to take a break. I know it's hard to be sober in the industry, and I hope that your sobriety is treating you well. You're probably working out a bunch too, because we know you get ripped in the off season, so it's probably going well. What about you, Darrin? Does working out affect your dream life at all? Because I know for me, I'll tell you my story after you give me an answer.
Well, affected my dream life? Well, to be honest, dude, ever since I stopped working, I sleep a lot better. Like, I'm going to bed at a decent time. Like, I'm living like a normal ass person. Like, this is amazing. Like, I almost don't want to go back to work, dude. But and I work out all the time. But if anything, it has to be it's definitely the caffeine that like, there's like this thing where like your body shuts down before your brain does. And so your brain starts freaking out. It's like, bitch, you're dying. And you're like, no, I'm not, bitch. Like, motherfucker. And then just like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, like your body shuts down before your brain does. Like, it's really weird. But that's just from the pre-workout and shit. You know.
Yeah, the pre-workout stuff. I have some. So when Ernie's my supplements guy, and I specifically ask him for stuff that doesn't have caffeine, because the caffeine does affect me real bad, and sometimes I like to work out at night, so I can't put if I put caffeine in my body after 7 p.m. I know for a fact I'm gonna have some kind of fucked up nightmare. I have nightmares where I like look out and into like the horizon, like normal stuff's happening, like I'm at a family party or whatever, boom, nuclear bomb. And then, like, I see it fucking in the air, and I see people start panicking, and I start to freak out, and I see it hit, and I see the flash, and I see the flames, and then boom, I wake up. And those dreams are brought to you by snacks. If I get, and this is the first time I'm admitting this on the show, but it's not a big deal anymore, so it's not like I'm being brave. I smoke a good deal of marijuana. And
that could be a thing too, guy. Just saying.
Enlighten me, please, Darren. Tell me about my marijuana smoking.
No, I mean, I don't, dude. I haven't smoked weed in fucking forever, so I couldn't tell you about it. Like, but I'm pretty sure that affects your brain chemistry and shit like that.
Here's the thing about marijuana is that it helps me. So I hate dreaming in general. I'm just going to be like upfront about it. I don't like dreaming. Even if it's a good dream, my whole thing is like, why do I want to wake up to shit? Like I have a dream, like let's say it's a good dream. I'm at the 8th grade dance and I'm in 8th grade, of course. Let's not use that example. I'm at an adult dance, and I'm getting twerked on, and yeah, by Usher and Ludacris and Little John and the East Side Boys is playing, and I'm having a great time, and my friends are there, and I feel good, and there's no quarantine, and there's no coronavirus, and then I fucking wake up. Why do I want to wake up to this? Donald Trump is still president. And fucking the coronavirus is still ravaging the country. I can't go see my friends or my family. And even if none of that was happening, I would still wake up and go like, ugh, like I'm still me. So
damn, bro, that's depressing as fuck.
But, thanks. I really thought I'd bring the fire here.
What about neutral dreams? Like last night, I had a dream that I was attending the University of Oregon and Jim Carrey was my history teacher.
First of all, that sounds like a fucking phenomenal dream. That's not neutral at all.
It wasn't phenomenal because I'm not a big fan of Jim Carrey, first of all. So I'm kind of like...
What if Jim Carrey is trying to feed you his semenology drinks, though?
Okay, then it takes it from neutral to slightly fucking terrible. I still got into the University of Oregon, which was awesome because it was definitely where I wanted to go, but now I'm drinking semen cocktails.
Well, the only reason he was in my dream is because Jennifer was watching Ace Ventura, and so that was like the last fucking like image on my head. I don't know. It had something to do with that. Like,
Caesar has a question specifically for Darren. Do you ever have nightmares where you're 6 deep during a crazy shift and you're out of everything? Industry nightmares.
Yeah, you remember after the first Wednesday you made me work at Murray's, motherfucker?
He's like, I was living that nightmare.
Hashtag shade, guys. Hashtag shade.
Nah, but yeah, like, not so much that, but, like, maybe nightmare, like, not nightmares, but just, like, fuck, did I do this? Did I do that? Did I close up? Did I, like... I don't know. I don't have enough shit for this. I got people yelling at me, like kind of shit like that. Yeah, I guess he's something like that. Like he says, like managers yelling at you, customers are yelling at you, and you're like not keeping up. Like sometimes that does happen.
Yeah, I mean, for me, any dream neutral. I don't like dreaming. Marijuana helps me not dream. Was the short version of what I was gonna say because we're running a little low on time. We still got a little time, but we're getting ready to wrap it up here. Yeah, I mean, marijuana helps me to not dream at all. Like, I literally feel like I go to sleep and then there's just like, it's like quick, like boom, like blackness. No, I don't really remember nothing happening, and then I wake up nice and refreshed. That's honestly my favorite part about smoking marijuana, is that it helps me go to sleep and it takes away my dreams completely. So, but if I drink too much, or I have a lot of caffeine, or I smoke too much marijuana and then get little late night munchies, then I end up having nightmares.
I've had Dead by Daylight nightmares where I'm actually fixing a fucking generator.
He's fucking hitting that R1 button at the wrong time and letting all his teammates down.
Yeah, that when I started playing with these guys, like, I was having fucking dreams about, like, I just hear that fucking sound that the generator makes.
So, as far as what about your, like, so we can get to the wrapping it up part of this whole thing, did you get enough kills that we could take another drink there, Ernie?
I didn't, sadly. I was trash. But
so we should drink anyway.
Yeah, I was
Just
gonna say,
take
I
a-
do
just
think we
take a
should still
sip.
take a shot. Pity shot.
Yeah, I think we're getting ready to wrap up anyway, unless we've been going about an hour plus.
Before we wrap it up, though, like, anybody
Sure.
that's still listening, like, what do you guys want to hear us talk about next week?
Yeah, we will absolutely take requests. Obviously, if there's multiple requests, we'll have to choose one or the other. But I promise you, if you leave it in the comments and you want to talk about it, and this show is still going, we will eventually get to what you want to talk about. So if you're still listening, please let us know what you'd like to hear from us next week or in the weeks coming up. Please let us know if you want what cocktail you want to hear from Darrin's Cocktail Minute. If you what you want to hear him.
Is that gonna be a thing now? Is that gonna be a fucking thing?
Dude, it was very popular. I don't see how we can ignore it. I don't see how we can ignore it with how popular it was. So if you want to hear what kind of cocktail, or if you want to participate in that part and see what kind of cocktails you'll make, please comment below and tell us what you want to hear coming up. Tell us what, if you haven't already, tell us what you're drinking. Tell us what you're going to be drinking next week. Maybe we can give you a little advice on what to make out of that before we shut the show down. But yeah, let's take one more shot. We'll take an end of the show shot. We only took, for some people they're going to be like, you guys are fucked up, but we only took 3 shots this whole time.
Yeah, I sucked today. Sorry, guys.
No, I think 3 shots is good. Caesar says, have you guys done ghosts, sensory deprivation, and stuff like that?
We did witches. We did Chucky.
We haven't done Ghostface, or did we?
haven't done
We talked about
Ghostface.
him.
We haven't done Ghostface, so I'll be upfront with you, Caesar. Because Ghostface is a killer in this game, we're going to try to spread out. So we talked about a killer that's in the game today, and we're going to try to spread it out a little bit. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but ghosts is certainly a very likely scenario, because even though there's not a ghost in the game...
Yeah, there is.
There is.
Oh, there's a ghost?
Yeah.
There's a spirit. This chick, she's crazy.
It's scary as hell.
Well, so I guess both of those are an option for next week. Sensory deprivation, I can get like why it's scary, but I'd honestly have to look more into it as far as like how it could be a horror element. I know people that go under sensory deprivation or into separate sensory deprivation chambers lose their fucking minds. Like they snap, which is terrifying in its own way. But
Joe Rogan does it for therapy.
yeah, but Joe Rogan's like a super zen bad average person couldn't do it and come out okay. Like I'd be in there 2 minutes and my brain would immediately be like cocktail semen, dreams, coronavirus. Like it would just start attacking me.
Marcus said look into the Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect, I like that a lot. The Mandela effect is the idea that when timelines split, we remember different things than other people. So one of those examples is, so I remember it as the Bernstein Bears. How do you guys remember it?
The
Bernstein.
The Bernstein. Yeah, or Bernstein.
Well, so that's like a very mild example because it could just be a matter of pronunciation. But there's different, like the Mandela example specifically is like, so I'll ask a question. I'll get your answers individually. When did Nelson Mandela die? Like, you don't have to give me an actual year, but tell me, like, recently, in the last 10 years, in the last 20 years. What was your answer?
20.
Last 10 years.
Last 10.
Yeah, the 10.
Yeah, so it was in the last 10 years, but there are a lot of people who will swear up and down that Nelson Mandela was killed. And so there's a lot of examples like that. The Mandela effect is absolutely a great. Thank you for that, Marcus. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. Definitely could be on a future episode, maybe a near future episode, if we can figure out how to incorporate it with something else. Let's take this shot. Does someone else cheers for the love of God? I feel like I've been talking this whole time.
Cheers to us.
Cheers
Oh
to
my God!
Cheers to us. God damn it.
Yeah, that's not all right. Sure.
Cheers to the boys. Cheers to the ladies. Let's just fucking drink.
And everything in between.
Cheers to it being Friday. About to be Sunday. I don't know. About to
Friday.
be Saturday.
What the fuck?
I don't think. We're gonna have next week's episode is gonna be on why Juan doesn't know the order of the days.
Well, it is about to be midnight, so it's gonna be Sunday tomorrow. Within the next
38 minutes. You're not even close, buddy.
Also, if you're not working right now, you really don't know what day it is. You're just kind of riding the wave, man.
Riding the wave.
All right. Well,
Go ahead, Ernie.
let's wrap it up.
Yeah. So, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Even if you don't plan on joining us every week, we would really appreciate the support. I'm gonna give gamer tags. Turn on notifications so that you know exactly when we're going live. But like and subscribe, turn on notifications. Please support the channel. We cannot move forward without you guys. And thank you for everyone that's come back week after week and the people that are joining us for the first time. Thank you guys. We really appreciate it. And everybody that participated, Alonzo, Freddie, Keebs, Caesar, Marcus, thank you guys for participating. We really, really appreciate that. Gamer tags real quick. If you want to play with any of these guys, Lil Poochie Vert 666 is Ernie, Bunnies 2914 is Juan, theGravest with a capital G is Darrin. If you want to play some Overcooked 2,
Overcooked 2, holla!
Tian Jude, Tianjude is Jude, and he's playing some Rainbow Six. If you want to request his friendship online and go play some Rainbow Six with him. I am Kilgore underscore Trout 10. If you want to play any sports game, I will play any sports game and beat you at it. But also, if you want to play some Ark Survival Evolved, or you want to play a little Stardew Valley, we can do that as well. Any sports game, I'll fucking fuck you up.
Okay.
But Madden, maybe I won't beat you, but FIFA.
Oh, here we go. Here we are.
I think I will. But my specialties are NHL and FIFA. If you want to come at the king,
fucking foreigner.
Make sure you fucking shoot well. Hey, don't fucking come on, Canadians.
This is America, goddammit.
Americans like hockey.
No, they don't.
Dude, at the Winter Classic, there were 80,000 people in the Cotton Bowl to watch that fucking hockey game. Tell me that.
Listen, unless you're Gordon Bombay or you're shooting the knuckle puck, nobody can
here we fucking go with the goddamn fucking Mighty Ducks.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, okay, all right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Later.